Welcome to AnimalWised. In this video, we're going to help your dog eat more slowly by sharing various tricks and exercises to encourage self-control. These will help improve their well-being to reduce their anxiety over food. Unlike what many believe, dogs are not governed by hierarchies when they feed. Canine behavior is noted for intra-species competition, meaning competition for certain resources among members of the same group. In this case, the resource would be food. When we feed several dogs at once, we often see the fastest getting the most. This can explain why some dogs, especially those in a group, eat anxiously and practically without chewing. However, to begin with, when we observe a dog eating excessively fast or never seeming to be satiated, we need to first consider a health problem. Diabetes, malabsorption syndrome, intestinal parasites and others can modify our dog's appetite. It's also common for dogs to have a greater desire to eat when they find a particular meal more appetizing. Wet and homemade food usually fall into this category. If you've already ruled out an underlying health issue, the dog will be showing anxiety and a lack of self-control. We recommend putting into practice these 8 tips and exercises to improve this behavior. By teaching your dog to eat more slowly, you will notice how it improves their digestion, their well-being, and their bond with you. For these tips to become effective, you will need to practice them for a minimum of 2 weeks. Provide the dog's food in several portions. It's advisable to distribute the total amount of dog's daily food into several portions. You can offer between 2 and 3 depending on your availability. You can also ask your vet to recommend a better feed. Teach your dog to wait. Before feeding your dog, encourage self-control by asking them to sit and wait. Every time they lunge for the food, ask them to sit again. Only when they are sitting still can they eat. You will likely need to be more flexible on the first attempts, as it is an exercise which must be repeated on a daily basis for effectiveness. If your dog is unable to sit still, we have provided links in the description to help. Use an anti-voracity feeder. A useful tool, an anti-voracity feeder forces the dog to eat slower while stimulating their cognition at the same time. Make your own anti-voracity feeder. If you have no option to buy one, you can do as we do and place one or several toys in the feeder. This makes it harder for the dog to reach the food and thereby slows down their ingestion. Use interactive toys. Another great way to make a dog eat more slowly is to use interactive toys which also stimulate the mind. If you do not have the option to buy one, you can make a homemade version such as a Kong toy for dogs. In the description, we have a helpful video to do just that. Practice sowing. The sowing exercise involves spreading the food on the ground for the dog to look for, using their searching ability to find it. This exercise should be more difficult as you progress, hiding the food further and further apart. Make scent games. As with sowing, you can stimulate their sense of smell to help your dog eat more slowly. In this case, we have hidden the food inside a piece of paper, so the dog has to use their olfactory senses to find it. You can also use other materials such as a blanket. Self-control exercises. We finish with the relatively easy self-control exercise. Simply hide some food in one hand and place it in front of the dog. Ignore them when they sniff, bite, or are anxious to eat. When they stop, reward them by opening your hand. Repeat this exercise several times a day until they know how to be patient. Here are our tips to help your dog with food anxiety. Do you have any more you'd like to add? If so, please share them in the comments. Like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more to come. We'll see you next time.